Good afternoon and welcome to a sensational Sunday. We are here for our weekly read aloud, and today Just Us in Books is at the Ninja Japanese Steakhouse in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin. Giving them a shout out there. Yes. Thank you so much for having Just Us in Books here to do our weekly read aloud. And today we are reading a very special book called Stacey's Extraordinary Words. Stacey's Extraordinary Words, and I'm dedicating this to a dear friend, Miss Tony Clark, who is celebrating a birthday today. And the reason why I chose this book is because Tony is a wealth of knowledge. She knows all kinds of weird things, all kinds of weird words, and I thought this would be the perfect book to celebrate all of Tony's knowledge and her birthday, another Cancer. So, Stacey's Extraordinary Words by Stacey Abrams, the one and only Stacey Abrams. And stay tuned because afterwards you're going to see the hibachi process happening. One of our vocabulary words, our extraordinary words, hibachi. Stacey's Extraordinary Words. Here we go. Stacey loved words. She loved to read and write and say them. She adored fun words, long words, unusual words, words with wonderful histories and weird combinations. Whenever Stacey learned a new word, it was like making a new friend. First, she would find the dictionary. Then she would look up where the word had come from and learn its secrets. Did any of its letters hide and stay silent, like the P in ptarmigan, a bird that lives in cold Norwegian regions? Or were they strong, like the I in right? Next, she wrote the word in her special notebook of extraordinary words. She practiced how to arrange the letters just right, how to sound them out. That's because she loves spelling interesting words most of all. With her favorite words, she would try to remember their quirks. What made them special? When she saw a super long word like onomatopoeia, a funny word to describe the sounds of other words, she had to jump and sway. Words like duckling made her grin. Persnickety tickled her tongue. So all these special words, and I love that she had a special notebook to keep all of her special words in. That might be a great idea for the summer for you. Sometimes Stacey thought that words understood her better than people did. When she sat by herself during recess, they never teased her about being quiet, or about being clumsy when she fell, or awkward when the joke in her head came out wrong. When she read books under the covers, words never told her to go to sleep. Words understood why she was grumpy or anxious. In fact, words helped her explain what she was feeling, if only to herself. Words are important. One day, Stacey's teacher, Mrs. Blakesley, asked her to wait after class. She squirmed in her seat because she was afraid. Petrified, another way to say really, really afraid. Usually the teacher only kept a student after class because of a blunder, a mistake. Mrs. Blakesley called Stacey to her desk and she returned her spelling test. A big red 100% sat at the top of the page. The teacher asked her, "Do you know what a spelling bee is? A really smart insect?" Stacey joked. The teacher smiled. A spelling bee is a contest where students compete to spell as many words correctly as they can. I would like for you to participate. Stacey couldn't believe it. Who else will be there? I am nominating you and Jake. The spelling bee is next week. All right. So all her hard work is paying off. She's got 100% and she's being invited to the spelling bee. Stacey's excitement suddenly evaporated. Jake was not her friend. He was a bully who knew words too. Just yesterday, he had used a complicated word that made Suki cry. Last week, she heard him say something cruel to Zivoko about his accent. Stacey thought it was stupendous that Zivoko knew words in 2 different languages. Stacey knew as many words as Jake did. She wanted to say something when he said mean things to her friends, but she was intimidated, scared, because sometimes he said hurtful things to her too. She wished she had used her clever words to help Suku and Zuvoko or herself by speaking up. Perhaps at the spelling bee, she would be braver. At the spelling bee, she would not be silent. All week long, Stacey studied her spelling words from school and the ones she kept in her notebook. Still, the spelling bee felt as far away as the longest word she had ever seen. A fancy way to describe words with lots of syllables. And I'm gonna have to pronounce this one, sequupedalum. Sequupedalum, a fancy way to describe words with lots of syllables. The days of the week were monstrous, treacherous, and sluggish. Every hour felt longer and longer. Stacey wished for the week to whisk its days away. She's ready for that spelling bee. Finally, the morning of the spelling bee arrived. Stacey walked into the county library with her mother holding her hand tight. Mama gave her a big hug and whispered into her ear, "Just do your best. Your dad and I are very proud of you." Stacey followed her teacher to the room where the other students waited until it was time to go. Then they went on to the stage. The announcer explained the rules. Kids stepped up to the microphone one by one to get their word. If they spelled it right, the announcer told them so. But if they made a mistake, a bell would ring. The student would have to leave the stage. No do-overs. So you gotta get that word right at the spelling bee. Stacey's turn finally came. Her stomach ached with nervous energy, but she was ready. Say the word dither. Sound it out, dither. Spell it, D-I-T-H-E-R, dither. That is correct, the announcer called on the next student and the next. Promptly, enormous, shutter, transportation, craggy, reception, village. Finally, only 3 contestants remained, Stacey, Jake, and a girl from another school. The girl went up to spell her word. Ding! She had spelled chocolate without the second O. Uh-oh. We are down to our final 2 contestants, the announcer told the audience. Jake took a long time to spell accept. Stacey got squeezed, but she remembered the lost letters she adored, like Q and Z. Jake tackled clambering. Stacey conquered disengage. Then Jake defeated geometry. Stacey returned to the podium ready to do battle with her next word. She repeated it. She pronounced it. She spelled it. Instantaneous. I-N-S-T-A-N-T-A-N-I-O-U-S. Instantaneous. As she waited for the announcer, the bell dinged. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. The proper spelling is. Stacey couldn't hear the rest of what he said. Tears filled her eyes, but she stayed on stage like a good sport as Jake got his trophy and she received her 2nd place ribbon. Everyone congratulated Jake, and so did she. Good job. Jake laughed and rolled his eyes. At least I know the difference between an I and an A. Jake hasn't changed, has he? Stacey felt embarrassed, but she refused to let Jake make her cry. Well, I misspelled my word, but I do know how to be courteous. You should try it. She turned away and went to find her mom. If today were like one of the stories Stacey loved most, she would have won. And Jake would have learned that words were a gift that shouldn't be used to hurt people. But things didn't always happen the way in real life. Sometimes change was harder, and it didn't happen right away. Stacey felt a hand brush at her cheek. It opened her fist and smoothed out the ribbon. Mama! She put a butterscotch candy on top, Stacey's favorite kind. You okay? I lost, but you came so far, nearly to the very end. Not far enough. I got the letter wrong, and I didn't win. I failed. You only fail if you stop, her mother reminded her. I know there's a word for that. You know it too. Stacey thought about one of her favorite words, perseverance. 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 Exactly. So let's go home and learn more words. There's always next year. Stacey imagined all the words she had yet to meet, new words and new ways to speak up and help others. She'd find them all. No, Mama, there's always tomorrow. The end. Stacey's extraordinary words, and there is extraordinary Miss Stacey Abrams, the author of our story. So 2 things. I do hope you'll take that idea of the special notebook to put your extraordinary words in this summer and add on to it throughout the school year. Stay tuned also for a special Hibachi experience. I do hope you enjoyed our read aloud for today. And thank you again to Ninja Japanese Steakhouse for the invite. Just us and books. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Our word for extraordinary words is hibachi. Hibachi. And it is Miss Clark's birthday. Just Us and Books wants to wish her a happy birthday as we record hibachi happening. Here we go.
Okay, what? Take it.
She's too slow. It's 3D.
Alright, everybody watching here. Okay, you. My bed and a fire in the hole. Are you ready, ready?
Yes. Ready.
Alright, alright.
Ready.
What?
Oh my God. Ooh, he peeking. Oh.
Wait a minute. Don't put that on
My boy.
Wait, they can re-get it. I better watch my commentary.
I double check order. You want chicken, shrimp, steak, and a fried rice, no noodle?
Yep.
Okay, say chicken, shrimp, steak, and a fried rice, no noodle?
No noodle.
Okay. And you want chicken and shrimp and fried rice?
That's correct.
And you want salmon and shrimp and chicken and rice?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I have a question. How do I cook in a steak? A steak must be
Well. Medium well.
Medium well, right? Well done it.
All right, he's just getting everyone's order together.
Okay. We have baby chicken breast, huh?
And here we go.
All right, ready? Watch your hair, huh?
Boom, 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 boom.
Baby chicken. So everybody, with the baby chicken come with baby oil. More baby oil, more baby chicken oil, huh? Yeah. My home.
Hibachi. Here we go. Hibachi is your word for today. Your extraordinary word.
More baby oil. And one more baby chicken. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Baby chicken, huh? Ice cream.
It is. Put some cheese on there to make an omelet.
So we're starting the egg. Probably for the fried rice.
Everybody, you ready?
Yes.
Open your mouth.
Hey! right, so he's got that shrimp fried rice ready, and now he is adding the vegetables.
아, 이거 와, 나라 보이냐? 이것도 double wheat이다 뭐, right?
Y'all know how to use these? Look at Lord.
Okay.
Show us how to use them, Miss Hayes. Principal Hayes.
You put them in 2 fingers and then you
There you go. There you go. All right. She's giving us a lesson on chopsticks. Chopstick. Oh, wait. Rice is coming.
Everybody learn rice coming, huh? Happy birthday, yeah.
All right. Next up, look at these delicious vegetables. Yum. Getting those vegetables already.
Right? You want a double, right?
It's probably acquired taste.
That's why I ordered two, right?
I'll try it.
That's all right? Thank you. Be careful, it's so many hard, okay?
You don't want it? I know you want my rice. You want my rice? All right. Here come those delicious veggies. All right. Next up is seafood. So it's getting all that delicious seafood on the hibachi grill. Hibachi is our vocabulary word.
Okay, we order seafood combo.
No, that's her.
All right, we've got lobster and scallops and shrimp and salmon. Yummy, yummy.
How are you? You want it? You want it?
A little sake
You
now.
want it? Come on.
A little sake.
Absolutely not.
Oh, you want that?
No, thank you. But I'm gonna watch down here.
Everybody watching here, huh? All right. Come on.
All right, sake.
More sake, more heavy?
Yeah. Turn up. So I had seafood. So he's divvying out shrimp right now. Oh.
Seafood
So
combo,
here
right?
comes shrimp. Yummy, yummy. So we have a little shrimp, a little lobster, and some scallops coming. All right, now we've got a little chicken, some steak, and some filet mignon. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Tony. Shoot.
Oh,